61% of UK broadcaster Sky is up for grabs. US media giant Comcast, which owns NBC and Universal Pictures, is offering $31 billion in cash. It beats a rival bid of $26 billion from Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox. The Murdoch family has long planned to gain full control of Sky with its 23 million customers. Comcast's move complicates Disney's plans to buy Fox's entertainment arm. It's made a $66 billion offer for the assets, which includes a 39% stake in Sky. But Comcast's offer doesn't depend on that deal.
We would like to own the whole of Sky and will be looking to acquire over 50% of Sky shares. We think that Sky would be very valuable to us as we look to expand our presence internationally.
Comcast's bid may stop Murdoch's plans for a full takeover. Fox agreed to buy the remaining 61% of Sky in 2016. But that deal's been held up by Britain's competition regulator, which says it should be blocked as it would give Murdoch too much control over the UK's media. 6 years ago, Fox had to abandon a bid when Murdoch newspapers were caught up in a phone hacking scandal. Fox is unlikely to let its plans fail, so Comcast's gate-crashing offer could spark a bidding war. Liz Maddock, TRT World.
Let's get more on the fight for Sky now and go to London. And joining us from there is Jasper Lawler. He's a senior market analyst at trading firm London Capital Group. Jasper, great to have you with us as always. Why is Comcast so eager for a piece of the British TV market?
Good evening. Well, I think there are several reasons actually that Comcast should want to put their capital into Sky. One is that you remember that they actually had a failed bid which was basically blocked by the US government to buy Time Warner Cable. So in essence, it looks like the US government isn't looking too favourably on consolidation within the sort of cable, internet, satellite TV, media type industry within the US, and so they then have to look overseas if they are going to expand the business in that sort of inorganic through mergers and acquisitions type sense. Also a phenomenon that's happening in the US market is what's being called cord cutting, and there's a bit of it happening in Europe and the UK as well. But basically, the threat of Amazon and Netflix and streaming services are forcing these cable companies to offer different kinds of services. But overall, it seems like subscriptions are trailing off. Right. And so, again, they need to look overseas rather than concentrating on their core US market, which has a few problems.
Jasper, if this deal goes through with Comcast, what message does that send out to other media companies that are looking to consolidate, perhaps in other parts of the world? What's the tone that it sets for M&A activity in that industry in the years going forwards?
Well, we can already see that this M&A activity is certainly picking up for the reasons I suggested. Those US companies are looking further afield. We're also in a very nice environment for M&A generally, with low interest rates and the stock market doing very healthily. So generally M&A is looking good, and within this particular sphere, we've already seen, which is partly why this deal may go through, is that we've seen Disney make a deal to take on 21st Century Fox. And so there does seem like an increase in overall acquisitions. And to me, it makes sense that actually these US firms particularly would like to target Europe more, just because it's a more developed market with regulations that are a bit more in sync than perhaps, say, some companies in Asia, which are probably faster growing, but a little bit complicated to integrate.
Let's bring it back to the UK. Looking at the UK regulators, they've put up hurdle after hurdle for Rupert Murdoch's proposed acquisition of the rest of Sky. Is Comcast going to get an easier ride, do you reckon?
Well, I think the big concern with Rupert Murdoch is that he just has such a strong foothold in the UK media anyway, and so there were concerns about media plurality, as how they referred to it, as basically Murdoch and his empire having too much control and influence over British news. And so Comcast, while they do have some small influence and some small holdings in London, for the most part, they're not really in the UK yet. So this would be almost a first endeavour for Comcast. Thus, they don't have that sort of incumbent influence over the media. So that, to my mind, puts them ahead of the rival bid here.
OK, Jasper Lawler in London at the London Capital Group. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you.